everyone. Welcome back to another spine tingling episode of Haunted America. I'm your host, the one who checks under the bed for historical figures, and tonight we're diving headfirst into the marble halls of power, where one very stubborn ex president just won't leave. Tonight's tale is that of the ghost of John Quincy Adams, the only former president to die right there on the floor of Congress mid rant. And apparently, he's still ranting. Let's set the scene. John Quincy Adams, son of John Adams, sixth president of the United States, brilliant diplomat, ferocious anti-slavery fighter, and owner of the most dramatic exit in congressional history. After losing re-election in 1828, partly because people lost their minds over him buying a billiard table for the White House, yes, really, a gaming table of hazard paid for with his own money, but the scandal stuck, he didn't slink off to retirement. He ran for Congress instead and won 9 times. For nearly 2 decades, the 70-something, 80-something powerhouse showed up every day to fight the good fight, especially against the expansion of slavery and the Mexican-American War, which he called an immoral land grab. Then came February 21st, 1848. He's 80 years old, and he's on the House floor in what's now called Statuary Hall, arguing against a resolution to honor officers who fought in that very war he opposed. He rises, votes no with all the fire he's got left, and collapses due to a stroke. He was then carried to a couch in the speaker's room where, 2 days later, he dies after whispering, "This is the last of earth. I am content." He remains the only former U.S. president to die inside the Capitol. Most people would call that curtains, but John Quincy Adams apparently filed an objection because ever since, for over 170 years, people in the Capitol have reported his presence. A shadowy figure standing at the exact spot where his desk was. There's even a little plaque there now. The sudden booming echo of a single word, "no," especially late at night near the Old House chamber or the speaker's lobby. Cold spots that move, and the feeling someone very dignified and very annoyed is watching you argue about something trivial. One Capitol staffer swore they saw him, full old-timey suit, standing tall as if ready to give another speech, right before vanishing into the statues. Another said they heard the whole dramatic collapse replay itself, passionate speech, sharp no, thud, ghostly footsteps rushing in, then nothing. C-SPAN cameras have caught orbs and unexplained shadows during late-night sessions. In 2018, a freshman congressman swore he heard an old man mutter "present" during a quorum call when no one was near the old desk. Some old stories claim his spirit occasionally wanders beyond the Capitol, drifting back toward Pennsylvania Avenue, toward the house where he once lived, and played billiards. The unmistakable sound of billiard balls rolling across a table can be heard, but the White House game room is long gone. Somewhere in the shadows, a very proper, very grumpy ex-president is lining up a shot, muttering about manifest destiny being nonsense under his translucent breath. John Quincy Adams spent his life saying no to injustice, to war, to compromise on what mattered. Maybe he's still saying it, because some fights don't end just because your body does. So next time you're in D.C., maybe take a midnight tour of the Capitol. Stand in Statuary Hall and listen. If you hear a very firm, very old-fashioned voice cut through the silence, just nod and politely say, "Yes, sir, point taken."